In June of 2022, this section of ceiling collapsed, fell to the floor. Luckily, nobody was in the church. But after that, we were able to get up into the attic to evaluate what was going on, and we're going to go up there now again and show you what the problems are and what needs to be done to remediate these issues. Recently, another piece fell over to the left here. See that? And this is going to continue to happen if they don't do something to remediate the problem. And let's go up to the attic.
Check it from there, John. With the light. See if it's here that it access to another place or it's the organ.
There's another ladder here.
There is, right? Okay. You want me to go up? No, wait a second. Alright. Get me. We got Justin, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna get you up there harnessed, alright?
Okay. All right.
It's a long way up. You don't wanna not be tied up.
Okay. Gotcha.
And once you're up there, I'll pull all the stuff up.
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
Escada tava escura. Não fiz sério.
What's down there?
Hold on. Wow, it's a big crack over there. See it?
Yeah.
Let me know. Feet in the middle of the planks.
Okay.
And watch the openings. What we could do is extent of the building, right? But let's focus on the areas first.
Yeah, I
that
didn't
we have light.
realize we were in the center already.
Yes.
It seemed like when it's on the ground, it seems further. But I see one right here.
Yeah. So this is. When do you want to start filming?
I'm filming now.
Okay. So this is one of the major collapse area. It's here and right under us. You can see it's all fibrous plaster. Fibrous plaster is white gold plaster with hemp and horsehair embedded in it to give it strength. You see the blobs over there in the middle, the connections that go around the wood. They go up and around the wood and down to the plaster. Those are all plaster wads. And those are, we have an example right here. Okay. That's a piece of wood, the plaster around it. You can see the natural fibers in it, to the plaster. And you start having cracks and movement, and the plaster fails. This is a bucket with the natural fibers right here. So you can see the condition they're in. Usually when they installed it, they were very strong. Right now you could grab them and just disintegrate them. This is leftover from the original project. That's what's in here. That's what's inside. It's these that you see over here on the plaster. That's what's inside the plaster. But that's what's supposed to keep the plaster together, which is no longer doing its job.
Be careful where you walk.
You're looking at cracks, it's a big crack.
Another one right there.
You don't know where.
Oh, John. You want light? We'll back up a little bit. Do you want to shoot from here?
All right.
And I'm gonna bring down some natural fibers for you, and a Jew connection, so you could make a video of that too. Don't keep walking. Right. Okay. And no, I'm gonna call you still for about the access, but I gotta. It's iffy up here, right? Okay. Alright.
You feel safe up here, man?
I'm not trying to think
Not
about
right.
it. Just don't think about
We
it.
do this all the time and I don't feel safe. So one window, if you see light. It's just for the light. You see another one there?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look in. You see that? Crack a little bit more. Wow. This thing is about to go. It's open. Yeah, and this one over here, Justin.
All right. I got it. Thanks. All right, good. I guess we could just pass through the space, just so they can see where we are.
All right.
Any cracks over here?
Hey, John, you want to fill it up with that? Watch your heads.
Watch out.
Ja. Mete mão só, venha. thought we should make that.
That's what I thought.
Looks good.
Yeah. They're not gonna have any problems with the side lines.
That plaster is strong.
I'm gonna throw this rope.
We just got down out of the attic and we did our inspection. And what we found is that this is a fibrous plaster ceiling which is hung from a wood substructure. What they did is they made fibrous panels in a shop. They embedded them with burlap. They brought those in. They hung them from the wood structure using hemp and plaster, making what they call jute wads to hold the plaster. So this is a typical cross-section of the wood structure with a jute wad wrapped around it, which is broken at the bottom here. What we're finding is that the natural fibers inside this, which are hemp, are dry rotted. We took some down out of the attic here. You see them here, they just crumble in your fingers. And these are the fibers that are inside the plaster that just fall apart when you touch them. These fibers were meant to reinforce the plaster so that it gives it the proper strength to support the weight of the ceiling. These fibers are no longer strong enough to support that weight, so anytime there's any kind of micro movement or crack in the plaster, you lose sections of the ceiling. The more we look, there's many areas where pieces of the ceiling have fallen over the years. Like I said, back in June of 22, this section had fallen. I come back in here tonight and I see a new spot that fell. And I see a lot of spots where it has fallen over the years. There's a rosette broken off over here. There's a piece of molding. There's another piece of molding up in the balcony. The actual fibers inside the panels, this is a piece of a panel, piece of decorative plaster. There's burlap embedded in these panels. And the same thing, the burlap fibers are completely rotted away. And they just disintegrate in your fingers when you touch them. And so if it cracks, there's nothing else supporting the plaster, and you'll end up losing. These pieces of plaster, these panels are probably a couple 100 pounds each when you take a full panel. And if something like that were to fall 50 feet and hit somebody, somebody's going to get severely injured, or even it could even kill somebody. There's another piece. It shows the wood structure with the jute connection around it. These tie wires that are inside, these are not meant to support the plaster, but these were to hold it in place until they were able to put the jute in place. And these are not everywhere. They're only probably every fourth or fifth support piece of wood has a metal wire on it, which again held the panel in place until they were able to get the jute connections in place. So what needs to happen now is this building is unsafe to be inside of, and the only way to make it safe is to get up in the attic and coat the backside of the plaster with a synthetic fiber gel. It's made by a company called HPCS, a Canadian company that developed products for stabilizing old plaster. So we have a product that is a acrylic gel embedded with Kevlar fibers, very lightweight. We clean the back of the plaster really well and scratch it, and we spray the gel on there, it becomes like a membrane, and it'll reinforce all the plaster, bring it back to as-built condition, or even better than as-built condition, because the synthetic fibers won't dry rot over time like the natural fibers do. That's what's needed to be done at this point, and without that, it's not safe to use the sanctuary at this point. All right, thank you.